I used stories that happened to me on the Larry Sanders Show, on the Tonight Show, stories that happened to me on all talk shows, stories that happened to me on all shows that I worked on. Other writers used stories from their shows, and it became diluted enough that you would often forget who did what to whom. But they were all based in some fact. And then I've already mentioned Peter LaSalle, and I like to refer to him as the Deep Throat character, like in All the President's Men, where there he was producing The Tonight Show, and occasionally I'd be shooting an episode of Sanders, and I'd call him up and I'd say, Peter, is there ever a circumstance where, or is this totally false, where Hank might fall asleep on the couch or not pay attention? And Peter would say, well, let me tell you a little story. So I think, and Judd Apatow and I still talk about it, we were not going to veer off what is basically the truth. And I think you can't go wrong if you stick to the truth. And then you can fly anywhere. You start to write something about a talk show that happened not to Letterman, and Letterman may say, that happened to me, and you realize there are generic things that happen about a guest who had one too many drinks or something. And I think we did one where I think David Spade at the beginning was a new comic and stopped by to Larry said, hey, you should stop by after the show and say hi because you just did a great job. And he goes, really, Larry? You know, and that would be like Johnny Carson saying it. And then later in the show, Spade stops by and knocks on Larry's door, and Larry says, yeah, and Spade opens the door, and it's absolutely death, him trying to talk to David Spade, because Larry really didn't mean to come by. But, hey, how you doing? And Spade says, oh, am I... And they get stuck, and they start talking about cars. And then we later found out that Letterman had that thing once where he evidently with somebody didn't know what to say, and they started to talk about cars. But that's coincidental.